It's Friday, July 2nd, 1993. This is the dedication of the new sign at the Bogue Falaya Wayside Park in Covington, Louisiana.
Back in my mind, I always recall the signs I've told each of you, I guess, at some given time, that I always remember the sign, and as we know, the sign was up by the post on both sides of the entrance, and that being the original entrance, and this was never here except for the last few years. And that old sign used to just always, it was my first poem that I ever remember, probably the only poem I ever remember, but it's the one I've always enjoyed through the years. It became dilapidated, tokens, fine, we don't know what happened to it when it went from there. If anyone knows the history of that, I'd like them to go ahead and talk about that sign if they know anything about it. No one knows. But invariably, we then just actually, at a council meeting, I went ahead, we were talking about the park itself, and I wanted to rename the park Bogue Falaya City Park, or City Park at that time, without really knowing exactly what the proper name was. Research at that point found, I know back in the 70s when I was on the council, somewhere in the time frame 75, 79, the state of Louisiana was going to put this park up for public sale and was in condominiums or what have you. The city basically broke because we just got on the council at that time, found we were in terrible bad shape the city was at that point. But there were several of us that wanted to make sure that we kept this in the city because it would always be used as a city park, regardless of that ownership. And we had no money to upkeep, so I pressed to make sure that the worst thing we can do, or the best thing we can do, is take ownership of the park, close the gates, and let people fuss at us because we're not maintaining it. But it'll be ours. And from that point forward, we were able to acquire the park, and it became ours. And those people at that time on the city council were Robert Champagne Sr., that's Bob's dad, of course, Gene Dodd, Leroy Jenkins, I was on it, Peasy Romano, Red Seal, and Mayor Cooper. So we took acquisition of the property and basically sat on it. It was sometimes later when it got to the time period that Ronnie and them came on the council that they began to have funds to begin improvement. And as late as what y'all been able to accomplish at this time, Keith and him has been able to bring the park up to the statute that we see today, and I think he's even going to improve that somewhat more. With that in mind, we fell across the picture that Carlo had, and it was this small little picture that confirmed all the conversations that everyone had about what the words were on the sign. And I will say I had the exact words down correctly to begin with.
Magnificent bods.
Rosanna, Bivens, Jerry Hess. Jerry here? No. Jerry Hess was in that group, and they contributed.
And Ron Baudet.
And Ron. And Ron. And that group, they paid for the sign itself. Cell cure, treated, John, saltwater contact.
They would stand up in water.
Yeah, so they'll be here for a long time. Unlike probably the original pose, just over a period of time, creosote probably gave way through the years at the ground level. But these will be here for a long time. Heaven forbid if anybody runs into them, because I think the construction is trouble. They're about 5 foot in the ground for your information. And Plico said this is typically the depth. They don't even put them that deep for that 30-foot pole. So they're going to be here a long, long, long time. So the Food family donated that, and it was took us quite a bit of time to get it, because he had them cut exactly the dimensional size as what's in the picture. So it's a replica of what we have there, and Wallace had a person in the city actually blow it up and make sure it was dimensional according to the picture. From that particular point, obviously sign services, and George came on out and erected the sign for us, even though he painted the sign on behalf of the group of the donation. Right off the bat. And you spotted it. So if anyone else would like to say something else about it, and this was not a program, it was just my...
Are you getting all the way over there?
Yep.